Bitcoin dropped below $111,000 yesterday, and now we are back above $113,000. Is this the bottom? Are we about to see the last leg of this bull market cycle, or are we going to see a little bit more downside? In today's video, I'll be talking about exactly this, how I'm currently navigating this market as it pertains to my trades, and we'll also be going over some pretty interesting news. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So just a quick update as per usual with the Bitcoin price. You can see that we're now holding above $112,000. Remember, I told you this level would not go down without a fight. We've wicked below it several times, but it seems very clear like we are trying to hold this level as support. This may potentially be the pivot zone. And the reason I say this is because typically when we get a ton of wicks below this level and we close the body back above this level, it does indicate that Bitcoin wants to go ahead and move higher. Now, we caught the meat of this move, which is the most important thing as it pertains to trading. And I'll give you an update on my trade. You can see here that I actually took some more profits on my Bitcoin short trade as shared in my free premium group. Now, I'm still holding out a little bit because I think there is a chance that we can move lower, but we cannot ignore the fact that this is starting to look quite decent on the lower time frames for Bitcoin. The more and more that we hold above $112,000, the more we can start talking about reclaiming some key levels. And the next key level that I'm looking at is right around 114.5K. Until we reclaim this level, I will not be max bullish quite yet. However, the moment that we start breaking back above this level and holding it as support, that is when we can start targeting some more upside for Bitcoin, and we will get a relief rally across the entire industry. The thing is, there is still some liquidity to be grabbed here, so it would not surprise me if we go maybe grab this liquidity and then potentially roll over. So that's why I'm going ahead and holding on to my short. But I want to be extremely clear. I am bullish for Q4 of this year. I just kind of want to see what happens here. I have my short open, and as I've been sharing, I also have my long open. You can see that we entered a long time ago, a few weeks ago actually, got the meat of the move, secured some profits, but I'm still considering to keep this open because I think that we can grab some more upside liquidity. Now, if I zoom out a little bit here, I still want you to be aware of the fact that this move down was pretty impulsive, and I do find it hard to believe that from here, we're just going to explode to new all-time highs. In my opinion, because of how this move played out, I still think that there's a chance that we get the bounce only to go ahead and roll down. Then we get the final leg of this bull market cycle. That's still my base case. However, because of the great entries that I got on my trades, I'm happy to hold all positions. Now, I haven't started buying any altcoins yet, although if we do get a significant bounce from here and I am proven wrong, and from $112,000, we immediately just shoot up, then altcoins will likely start to move. But my base case, as I shared it several times before, is I still think that Bitcoin dominance will continue to increase, and then we will probably roll over into altcoin season. And as a matter of fact, I was playing around with a Bitcoin dominance position, and if you want to trade Bitcoin dominance, whether you think altcoin season will start now and Bitcoin dominance will drop, or you think that I may be correct and you want to long Bitcoin dominance, you can actually do that on Bluffin. And this is one of the only exchanges that actually allows you to do that. You can see here, Bitcoin Dom USDT. I'm currently up around $6,000 in profit on this trade. So if you want a long Bitcoin dominance, be my guest. Join me on Bluffin. You do have that first link in my description down below if that interests you. And remember, if you're a little bit of a bigger trader, make sure to make these deposits and trade as you normally would, and I would be happy to give you VIP access. What this does is it gives you reduced fees on the platform. Go ahead and sign up if that's something that interests you. Now, back to the charts. The key pivot point for me is still 114.5K. We break above there, hold it as support. All of a sudden, we start targeting this 8-year trend line, which we've been talking about on the channel at length. I also wanted to give you a quick update on the liquidation heat map. You can see that this hasn't been refreshed since yesterday, and we went ahead and grabbed a lot of this upside short liquidity, a lot of those late shorters in the market. Now, if I go ahead and refresh this page, let's take a look and see what it's currently giving us. Still paints the same picture. Now, on the 3-day time frame, it may say something a little bit different, and that is that there is still some more upside liquidity. Right now, we're pretty balanced in terms of the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map. Net cumulative long liquidation leverage versus net short cumulative liquidation leverage is about the same. Now, on the 1-day time frame, there are still more shorts entering the market than longs, and on the 7-day time frame, it is looking abundantly clear that a lot of people have started to flip short. This is when you want to start paying attention. So despite the fact that I think that we could potentially move lower before we go ahead and move higher, you can see that when we zoom out, there is still more cumulative long liquidation leverage in the market. And typically, when we get the kind of major reversals that I've been talking about, which also helps me identify when I should be going long or going short, we see at least 3 times more than the other. So what I mean by this is if we go back down here and grab this downside liquidity, which it's very obvious that there's a ton, at that point in time, you will see more and more people go aggressively short. And then when we have over 3 times more cumulative short liquidation leverage than cumulative long liquidation leverage, that's the point in time where I will likely start shifting, looking for confluence on the charts, of course, because this doesn't tell you immediately what will happen. And that's the point in time where we likely get a massive move targeting all of those shorts, and we make that last leg of this bull market cycle. That's currently how I'm playing it from a trading perspective. Now, from spot, as I keep on saying, I have not touched any of my positions because I still think that the top for Bitcoin globally here is not in. We can easily go above $130,000. That would not surprise me whatsoever. Now, September right now is currently sitting above 4% in the green, but there is still time to maybe make this a red September. I don't want to freak you out, but currently I think that a lot of people are trying to catch this bottom, but you cannot ignore the technicals. The chart is starting to look relatively good here, trying to hold $112,000 as support. I know I'm giving a little bit of mixed signals here. A lot of you just want me to say up or down, but it's not as clear cut as most people think. This is why you want to have great entries when it comes to trading, get the direction right, and then you can just sit on your hands and wait to see how it plays out. I will not neglect the fact that I like the way that this is holding $112,000. So if we get some more upside here, I would be looking to see if this just makes a lower high and then we roll over, or if we continue to hold this level and then we hold 114.5K as support, it's at that point in time where we can start talking about targeting the liquidity all the way up to $120,000. That might sound confusing, but it really has been a trader's market. I've shared my profits and my trade setups along the way. So if you want a solid group where you get no bullshit trading setups and my own personal analysis on a daily basis, remember that you do have that first link in my description down below. You click this link, it'll bring you to Telegram, and basically all you have to do is click send message, and then you will DM me the word premium, and I would be happy to onboard you into my free premium group where I post my own analysis and my own personal trades. Remember, the only requirement is to sign up with one of my affiliate exchange links and start trading on there as you normally would. Now, the last thing I wanted to cover in today's video, we have the pre-markets, which are a little bit green here, but we also know that gold and the S&P 500 were both spiking drastically as Bitcoin was making that correction. Now you can see that the S&P 500 got a little bit of a correction yesterday, gold a little bit of a pullback, and Bitcoin seems to be bottoming out. I'm really curious to see how this will play out. And right now, as I said, I am sitting on my hands, especially from a trading perspective. And just quickly from a news perspective, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says Bitcoin could reach $1 million by 2030. I completely agree with this. I do think that this is highly likely. And so if you really want to zoom out and look at the bigger picture, I have the same kind of conviction as this guy, and I just try to accumulate Bitcoin as much as possible when we are at lower levels. Believe me, a bear market will happen, and that would provide an excellent opportunity to add to your long-term Bitcoin bags, in my opinion, of course. And we also have the fact that CFTC is to allow stablecoins as collateral in US derivatives markets for the first time ever. Plus, Sam Bankman-Fried posted good morning, supposedly from prison. This is absolutely insane, and a lot of people are worried that this could mark the top in the market. Let's see how it plays out, but ultimately, I don't think that this has any kind of repercussions. And lastly, looking at the trading economics calendar, you can see that we do have tomorrow durable goods orders month over month and the GDP growth rate quarter over quarter final, which will be coming out, likely giving us a little bit of a clearer picture as to where the market could be headed. We also have existing home sales data, and then on Friday, core PCE price index month over month, as well as personal income. Should be pretty interesting, likely to have a little bit of volatility, but ultimately, I don't think that you need to freak out. Stay level-headed in this market and wait until we get the confirmations that we need before going max long or max short. That is, of course, if you are trading this market. From a spot positioning, I don't think you have much to worry about. I know I see a lot of people calling the top of this bull market cycle, but for me personally, I still don't think that the top is in. And that sums up today's extremely quick video. Not much has changed. Bitcoin is hovering around $113,000 after going below $111,000 yesterday, and I'm just waiting to see how things play out. Of course, I will keep you updated, and if you want faster real-time updates, make sure you go ahead and join my Telegram community where I'm posting in real time. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.